All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Rippa Mike, as I've been come to be called. But I wanted to talk to you about two different things. So I'm going to make two separate videos because some might not be interested in the one, and they might just be interested in the other. So I just uploaded this morning the 1 hour presentation from Rippa over in China, talking about all the newest innovation, new upgrades, and all that they did across their product portfolio, mostly on the excavator and mini skid steer line. So I'm going to go through that real quick in case you don't have the time to watch a 1 hour video. I'm going to just blow through that real quick. So the first thing is these are not optional upgrades. This is just the way that it comes. The first one, just jumping right into it, is the steel roof cover has been changed across all of the open cab systems. It's now a poly type HPDM or whatever type of plastic that they're saying has a greater than 50% impact resistance. The next thing is, like you've been seeing with the R18 for a while, well, since May, it's got that about a 3 inch by 3 inch wire steel mesh. That's now going to be standard across the R10, 13, 15 as well, to help improve, or I should say increase operator safety. The other part is with the excavators and mini skids, there's the two different types of grease fittings. There's the pointed type versus and then also the needle fitting. So it sounds like they're going with a pointed type because that's what everybody has. It's easier. You don't need a special attachment or anything. You just plug this thing in and go. So they're doing that. The next thing, and you probably saw this from a video I uploaded last week, they're changing that floor mat from that little decorative floor mat that's like a fabric to a very nice rubber mat that's going to help with decrease a little vibration coming up from the floor. Across all of the excavator products, the headlights, warning lights, and rear view mirrors have been increased, giving greater visibility, especially with the rear view mirror that I think y'all are going to like. The other point is all of the excavator family of products is now going to be lined with insulation to help control heat, whether that be it's just getting too hot in there, or in the cab models, which I'll talk about that here in a minute, to help try and keep the heat from getting into the enclosed cab with air conditioning. What they did is they had an R15 or an R18 running for an hour just on idle, sitting over there, and they timed it. And the temperatures dropped from 53 degrees Celsius to 34 degrees Celsius when you had both machines sitting there, and they measured it with a laser temperature gauge. So that should be nice. Something that they did is, not only is it an R10 or R15, R18, whatever, but then to show the different, where they're at in their model line, it's like an R10-5, R32-3, what have you. So they're completely refreshing the refresh model that they just did back in May of this year. So for example, the R10 is now going to be an R10-6. So this is going to be here the very end of October, maybe first week of November, somewhere around in there. And the R10-6 is a complete redesign. For example, it's going to have an enclosed cab with air conditioning. So you can kind of see over here behind me, the R10, a 1-ton unit, is going to have an enclosed cab and with air conditioning. Now, I don't know how much that extra is going to cost, and that's going to be the second point, because the tariffs as of 2 days ago are now up 50%. So I'm going to make a video on that and talk about that. And the R10, just like the R18, 22, 32 and higher, it's going to have that little mini computer sitting right there. So you'll have that. So it'll show you RPMs and a gas gauge, fuel gauge, all that kind of stuff. And then it's got to have that integrated uh, counterweight that's going to be on the back of it. For the R15-5, R18-5, R22-3, R32-4, these also are being refreshed. The first thing is the pilot handle controls have enhanced buttons on them versus like the floor mount pedals. So it'll give you a little better control than the spring-loaded floor pedals. And just when I was getting used to the floor pedals. So now I'm gonna have to relearn everything. But I think everybody's gonna like that. The next thing is the hydraulic pump has a second interlock to where you not only are you gonna have to flip a button to change your quick attach, but then there's gonna be a separate button to prevent the bucket or whatever that attachment is from dropping off or what have you through an accident. So there's going to be two buttons there that an operator will need to trigger in a specific sequence to allow the operator to drop that attachment. Okay. All models on the R10 and above, they all will come standard now with the hydraulic quick change coupler instead of the manual, which isn't a big deal for my customers because if you probably can't see the end of the boom where the bucket is. That's how I order all mine anyway. I mean, why wouldn't you get that? It's easy to take it off and not use it if that's what you want to do, to maybe have a little extra strength when you curl the bucket. But outside of that, it's a great use, and it's so cheap when I order the machine. I just get it like that anyway. The other part is on those floor mount models, the hydraulic lines have been changed to better, and they put them more inside the boom than alongside the boom to help with less issues, hopefully, with the boom if it's moving or what have you, and tree limbs or whatever getting in there and tearing or bending any of the oil lines. They also upgraded the hydraulic lines to 4 high pressure lines on the hydraulic oil pipes to allow for greater flow and less jerkiness. Something that I know a lot of people have asked for is how can we, what do we have to do if we don't like SAE and we want ISO, or if we have ISO, what do we have to do? Well, it's not that big of a deal. It's just a minor inconvenience in time. You have to just change the hydraulic lines to wherever you want them. Well, now you're going to be able to have a button, so you'll sit in your cab, and if you want ISO, that's great. Then I get out of the cab, and say my lovely wife, Amber, she gets in there, and she likes ISO. So all she's got to do is just flip a button, and now she's got ISO controls. So that's very nice. The next thing is on the R18-5, R22-3, R32-4, it's going to have an explosion-proof valve that's added as standard on the boom. So what that means is right now, with any of the machines that have been sold, if something were to cut that line out on the boom would just collapse straight down. And if somebody was there, equipment, whatever it is, it's going to be damaged, especially as you start getting into the larger machines that have heavier buckets or whatever the attachment is. So that's now going to be where if the line were to get cut, the boom won't drop, or it shouldn't. And you'll be able to see all of what I'm talking about. If you want to go and just fast forward through the 1-hour video that I uploaded right before this one, you'll see how this works, where they just took an angle grinder and they cut the line on 2 machines to where you can see in the one, it just drops and it completely crushes a helmet, and then a safety helmet. And then where they've got the explosion-proof valve, where they cut it, literally the bucket doesn't even move a quarter of an inch. On the R18-5, they added a new additional line for the brush cutter excavator attachment. So they call it the lawnmower, but in the US, we call it a brush cutter. So that's the difference if you're looking at their website versus ours. So what that means is it's going to allow for greater power and, again, not so much jerkiness. So that's going to be, I think, very well received. On the R22-3 and the R32-4, they're coming with an adjustable air suspension seat. This is going to dramatically help with shocks and vibrations. And the seat is fully adjustable, up, down, back, forth, lumbar support. I mean, it's great. And they actually show the different positions of the seat in that 1-hour video. The R22-3 and R32-4 also has a really good state-of-the-art fresh air system with an outstanding filtration system as part of all that. So it'll help reduce any contaminants, namely dust, right, from getting into the cab. And then for my pride and joy, I'm a mini skid steer guy from way back. The RS06 is now going to be refreshed again, although it was just released as a refresh back in May. So they're refreshing that already with a bunch of changes. So it's now going to be the RS06-2. The track width has been increased for further enhanced stability. The track has changed to, where did it go here? To triangle tracks. They were widened and also thickened, and they now also use double row guide wheels to help with less issues of the track jumping and getting off. The pump has been changed to a larger load-sensitive plunger pump. And then as a benefit to that, the RS02 is going to be like the larger mini excavators, where it's going to have a rabbit and turtle mode. So it'll be a true dual speed system where it'll go from 4 kilometers an hour to 8 kilometers an hour, depending upon what you're wanting to do. Additionally, due to, I'm sure, me and everyone else screaming at them, the operator platform, that whole area is going to have a curved fitting cushion for comfort. And it's not only going to just be there, it's going to be adjustable for the height and angle. So when you're in there, no matter how you're standing, you're going to be able to get comfortable and recline into that and not be pressed or bounced right into steel. Additionally, and this is where I still need a little clarification, they're saying it's going to start coming with an optional 5 idler wheels. So I don't know why you would want that to be optional. I think that would dramatically increase performance of the tracks to where it would be able to handle tighter turns with less track derailment. So I'm still not 100% on that. I'm waiting for clarification, but it's Friday, August 22nd. So, it's already Friday night. I mean, it's 3:17 in the morning over in China. It's 2:17 here in at the lovely Rippa USA.com warehouse, or I should say RippaUSASales.com warehouse here in Boyd, Texas. So I'll probably not know anything until probably my Sunday night, which would be Chinese Rippa's Monday morning. Okay, and then there's going to be, they talked about in the video, it's going to be counterweights, and they're going to be weight adjustable by the operator. So I want to seek clarification on that because they don't actually show the counterweight. So I want to understand what they mean specifically by that. So that's all I've got there. If you've got any additional questions or concerns, let me know. I'm going to stop this, then I'm going to start another one for something that's going to impact everyone. So this is Rippa Mike signing off. Thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Put your comments down below and I'll read it and get back to you. Even if it's I don't know, I'll follow up and I'll get you your answer. Thanks so much. Y'all have a great weekend.